Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Eileen, and this is the Medicine Walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. And happy holidays for everyone. And I hope that you all are having an amazing, wonderful time. I know that it can be a little bit stressful and it can be a little bit kind of crazy. And yes, it is also the solstice. So, whatever tradition you hold, however you hold it, whatever you embrace, wherever you are in the world, I wish you a happy whatever it is that you celebrate. And I wish you blessings of the season from my the deepest part of my heart. And I just wanted to share this space as we get ready for not just Christmas coming up next week, coming up on Monday, and I got my little, I got my festive on here, and this is one of my favorite times of the year, uh, just because there is that childlike part of me that still remembers the magic, that still remembers the joy and the fun. And for those of you who maybe don't have really good memories of Christmas and or of the season, and maybe there's some stress and maybe there's some old memories that aren't quite so pleasant, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that was something that you experienced, and I hope that you can build a better one, that you can build new memories. There's a saying somewhere, I'm not sure who said it, but it's never too late to have a happy childhood. So it's time to let the inner child out. And I'm one of the few people who actually enjoys going out to like malls on Christmas Eve. I love going out places on Christmas Eve because there was, back a long time ago when I was in the rush of buying Christmas presents and all of that stuff. And usually I was pretty busy, and there was always something I ended up forgetting, and I had to go out on Christmas Eve. And I didn't really mind because there was a fun in a way to it. I mean, everybody else out there realized, I mean, it's like, yeah, we're all in the same boat. We all forgot to get that extra present. And there was more of a tendency to just say, hey, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and, happy Hanukkah, and or however, whatever. But there was a sense of goodwill. And I always, ever since I was little, I always liked seeing all the things lit up. I loved the blinking lights on the tree, and I'd always like to sit with all the lights off and just look at the tree because it always felt so magic. And so, I enjoy this time of year. And also for those who follow the solstices and the equinoxes, we are at the winter solstice. And the idea is that this is that time when we're supposed to be slowing down, when we're supposed to be becoming introspective and taking a look at what worked over the year, what didn't work over the year, but not from that place of my nose itches. Supposedly that's good luck or means you're going to get money or something. I don't know. But it just means my nose itches. But the idea that it's a point when you can start thinking about what you want to put into place for the following year. I mean, in the olden days and in the early times, there wasn't a whole lot to do. That when you were locked up and maybe went outside and made sure the animals were okay, and went out, got wood to bring in, and it was just a big communal time where you were going to be locked in together for a few months. And it was storytelling, and it was planning for what the next year's harvest would be, and what how it could be improved, and if you'd be getting more animals, or it was a time when families were being planned and futures were being planned. And yes, it's a time when there's reduced sunlight, when the days grow shorter. And so we begin that time of less sunlight, which for those who are affected by seasonal affective disorder, that can be a real issue. And understand there's a lot that can be done to help you. And there's tons of information online, and seasonal affective disorder is a very real thing. It's not just, oh, you have the blues or, whatever. There's a direct relationship of the sun's effect on our body chemistry. So at this time, it can be a little bit more difficult for some folks. And if you know somebody or have a friend or a family member who suddenly seems to, be a little bit more down, that's usually a sign of something. And it could be just that a full spectrum lamp could be something that could help. But there are a lot of things that can be done. So please check into that if this is a problem that you're having. So one of the other things about the solstice is that it is a sort of almost a step into faith. And, not particularly religion, but the idea that, as it got darker, as it got colder, as the weather got worse, there was that belief that it would turn, that eventually the sun would come back. Eventually the light would return. Eventually it would become warmer. Eventually the plants would come back. And that this was a cycle that happened every single year. And they refer to it as the wheel of the year, and the wheel turns. And even when it turns into that place where it is that increase in the darkness and lessening of the light, it still is known that even as that begins, that it will move through and it will pass. And the point is just to kind of hunker down and do your best, one, because you know it's coming, to prepare for it, and two, to manage it in the best way you can. And any day that is a good day that you can get out and do things, then that's what you do. But it's accepted that this is a natural part of the world. It's a natural part of life. And we all go through those cycles. We all hit those points where either we know why or we don't know why, but maybe we hit those down times. Maybe we hit those times in our life where things didn't go so well for us, that things we planned on, things we anticipated, things we figured, oh yeah, this is going to come in and I'm going to be okay. And then it doesn't happen. And that can be a really tough thing. And when you're stuck in that space, it's really, really hard to see anything but that. It's hard to tell yourself, well, that's it. I'm going to, I'm just in this space for now. But hey, at some point, things are going to shift. So the idea that this is such an active time and coming to the close of a very, very, very dynamic year. A lot happened, a lot went on. And this is also the time to kind of integrate that, to take stock of it, whether you're looking at things that, were happening out in the world, or whether it was stuff in your own life and in your own family and big changes that happened. And it can be challenging to try to put all those into perspective. And, when we're in it, when we're, as the year is moving through and it seems like every other day something is coming in and something is happening and something is changing, it's at the point when you can sit and actually put it into hindsight. When you look backwards and go, wow, that was a lot of stuff. That was a lot. And when you can go, okay, this happened and this is how I dealt with it, and it came out pretty well. Then this happened. And each thing that happens, you found a way to deal with it. You found a way to manage it. It may not have always been pretty, but there's always a way. There's always some kind of solution. And I firmly believe that. And it's not like Pollyanna, oh, just look at the world through rose-tinted glasses, because sometimes it's pretty bad out there. And more so, it's pretty bad in here, or it's pretty bad in here. And we all hit those times. And me as much as anyone else does. I spend a lot of time working with people, and when I look back over my year and I look back over my time, I consider, wow, I interacted with a lot of people, and some of them became really good friends, and some of them became people. Yeah, I think we're done. I think that's good. Learned everything I need to learn from you. Good going. Bye bye. So wherever, and there were people who fell on the inside of that spectrum. And it is important to remember that no matter what we experience, no matter what we learn from people, it's all for our good. It all moves us forward. It makes us more than what we were before the event. I consider all the things I learned this year, all the things that I learned about myself this year. And when I really sit and think about what it is that I learned, I always come out very grateful, even for the hard stuff, because it was during the hardest stuff that I really learned the most about myself. I learned the most about other people. And, it really doesn't matter. Even those who were hurtful to me taught me something very important. And it's not about them. It's about me. It's about what I walked away with in that situation. And maybe I walked away with a little more compassion. Maybe I walked away with a little more determination. Maybe I walked away with the knowledge that I could walk away. It really is. It really is amazing to me how even some of the smallest things, and when I think back over the year, it's like, oh wow, even there were some small things that really didn't strike me as big at the moment. Then as other things happened, it was like, oh wow, that really was significant. That really was important. That really was a powerful thing that at the time I didn't even think was that powerful. So it's almost like these are all presents that we get to open. The wisdom that we gain through the years is like a whole group of presents piled up around us. We can open them anytime we like. And we can take a look at that gift of wisdom, a gift of insight, maybe a gift of a reality check. Because I know that there are times when, it's like I'm just, oh yeah, everything's going along this. And then suddenly, bam, oh, okay, I've got to deal with this in a different way. And it reminds me that there's a lot of different ways to look at things. So it really is a great season and a great time to take stock and assess and take a look at what was it that your garden grew this year. What were the things that, were that New Year's resolution? Is it still a resolution now? Has it become a habit? Or was it something that didn't serve you? I mean, not every resolution is meant to be kept. And sometimes we learn more by realizing, wow, that was not the most practical thing that I could have set into motion, but I found something better. And if it's truly something that you really wish you had stuck to and you didn't, don't sweat it. It's human nature. Deep down, you weren't quite ready to take that leap at this point. And you could always make it a resolution for next year. But this is the time to open gifts. This is the time to take time, to make some quiet time, at least every once in a while, to create that introspection, to create that moment of, okay, let's take a look at this. Not through the eyes of someone who's looking for a reason to feel bad about themselves, but through the eyes of someone who really learned something. We all had opportunities to learn. Some, yeah, and people teach us in a lot of different ways, the people who are in our lives. Some teach by example, and some teach as a warning. And that's a good thing to keep in mind, because it's always a good idea to kind of ask yourself every once in a while, how am I teaching others? Am I teaching as an example, or am I teaching as a warning? And, be honest. Not all of us get it right every time, but it's important to remember that we're all learning. We are all divine beings having a human experience. And that experience is something that we just make our way through. There's no rule book on this. We don't have a solid way of doing this. None of us do. We're all experiencing each day of our life for the first time. Because even if you're an elder and you've lived a long time, and then your life is fairly set, and some people think even that their lives are very routine, but each and every day is brand new. Each and every day, anything could happen. No day is exactly like the previous day. And if we can embrace that and find a way to celebrate that, then possibilities open up. We can always look at something in a different way. If we feel that our lives are routine, at any point you could make a single decision that could change everything, either in a way you like or in a way you don't like. But change is inevitable. The ability to choose and the ability to experience change is one of the best gifts that we get, and it is the gift that keeps on giving. So as you consider this being the season of both giving gifts and receiving gifts, that's how we find our place into the eye of the storm. And we've talked about the eye of the storm before. And when we can balance our gifts, that's when we hit that really nice sweet spot, and we can be able to view the things that maybe aren't so pleasant about it from a perspective of, well, this is going to pass. And while it's passing, I can sit here and open up my gifts. And you can focus on that, as opposed to the things that may be trying to pull you out of your balance, or the people that are trying to pull you out of your balance. So focus on the gifts that you've gotten. Focus on the things that you've learned. Focus on the possibilities that the next year will bring. And yes, everything has light and shadow in it. And as I say, life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. So don't attach to either one. Allow yourself to move through. Allow yourself to see the potential in things, and also use your both left and right brain and say, okay, this is something I really want. And maybe I tried to get it last year and it didn't work out. So how can I do something different this year and bring about change and bring about something new and exciting and achieve something in a different way? The gift of possibility is just another one of the many gifts that we get to open up at this time of the year. The gift of introspection, the gift of reassessment, the gift of celebrating our victories, and the gift that we survived our things that were not so victorious. The gift of those who are still here in our lives, who mean so much to us. And for those who are experiencing loss and remembering those who are no longer here, the gift that their life was to you and the joy that they brought to you. And yes, this is a very tough time for grief. And it's something to work through, because like all the seasons, it will come, it will be there, and then it will pass. And the wheel turns. And no matter what, it's going to keep turning, whether we accept it or not, whether we like it or not. So just enjoy the ride. Open your gifts. Have a wonderful memory of the year. And consider all the stuff, not only that you learned, but that you survived. And then look to the next year with possibility and as much optimism as you can, and with a firm thought to planning. And this is an excellent time to start planning things, because maybe there's a trip you always wanted to take. Now's an excellent time to start planning it. And it doesn't matter whether you think right now you can do it. Plan a way that you can. These are all things that we set into motion because it's your life. You choose. You get to decide what it is that you want to bring in, what you want to celebrate, what you want to let go. Because what you want to do is keep your eye of the storm clear. We don't clutter up the eye of the storm with, oh, I wish this, I wish that. That's out there in the storm. What's in the eye is nothing but possibility, calm, and gentleness. That's the eye of the storm you deserve. And I wish you many, many, many gentle eyes of the storm. Because even though it's true that the eye of the storm isn't meant to last, it's meant to give you a breathing space, still, it's that place to breathe. And it's that place to figure, all right, I've got my second wind. I can do this. I know you can do this because I believe in you, because I honor you. And whether I've ever met you or not, I love you. And I wish the absolute best for you. You can do this. You can find balance. You can find your eye of the storm. You can look at your gifts. What you choose to do. And anytime you feel you can't, well, talk to somebody who believes in you. Find that friend who says, hey, no problem, we can do this. You know, get that support team going. And before you know it, the sun will come back. It will be spring. It will be the new year. It'll be new possibilities. If you have to tell yourself a story, tell yourself a good one. And in the meantime, open your gifts. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing the space with me. Thank you for this journey through the year that is soon coming to a close. I'll be back next week, and I hope you'll be back with me. And if you appreciate this, if you resonate with this channel and the things that I talk about, then please like, share, comment. I do read the comments and I do answer them. And subscribe so we can grow this community even more. And if you feel called, then you can support this channel through Patreon. And the link is provided in the description of the program. So thank you for joining me. And for those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, I encourage you to check out the YouTube channel, because you can actually see me saying the stuff I say. Occasionally I do something entertaining. So, blessings to you all. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings. From my heart to yours. Love you. Bye-bye.